Hi, welcome to another Google Hangout on the Living Income Guaranteed. And today we are discussing the German welfare system, which is the Hartz system, and it is essentially the unemployment benefit system. And today we have as a guest Norbert from Germany. Hi.
Hi, Marlen.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I was a little bit nervous this afternoon and yesterday too to search all the facts or Google for the facts about the welfare here in Germany. Some people or friends know me from Facebook, and so we can talk now about ALG2 or Hartz 4 in Germany.
Okay, cool. So let's begin with that. We have the Hartz system, which is the same. There are two different kinds, as we've understood, of the welfare system. We have ALG 1 and 2, which means the money that people get when they have no job. Correct?
Okay, that is correct.
Okay, so what is the first one all about? How does it work?
So ALG1 is for people who get unemployed when they worked for more than 2 years and paid for this insurance, and they get nearly 80% or 75% from the last money, and will also pay for the pension later when they are 65 or 67, and ALG1 is for maximum 1 year here in Germany, and after 1 year they must go automatically to, here's my cat, to the job center and make a contract with the job center to get ALG2.
Okay, so the first one is when you've worked, they give you the benefit with 80 to 70% of the wage that you had in that job,
yes,
which means you're living well. And if you don't get a job in that year, then you go on to ALG2, or money for unemployment 2. And that
yes.
consists of, what does it work? How does it work?
1 second, the cat. I must say the people who are working at Arbeitsamt, it is ALG1, they are more kind than the workers at the job center. What was your question? I didn't really.
ALG2, the number 2 or the variation, once that you start having benefit of that 1 year with ALG1, you go on to ALG2, correct? So how does that work?
Yes, they send you to the job center to make a contract, and you must fill out a lot of forms about how much is on your bank account. Do you have a known house? Are you an owner? Or they don't take all away at ALG2. You can have some money on your bank account, but not too much. You can have a car, but not, I think, a great Mercedes or BMW, and that is a different. ALG1, they are not interested to ask about
your property,
yeah,
ownership.
But you have an ALG2, there are really a lot of questions.
Okay, so you are more restricted, and they kind of make sure that you really have no means to support yourself. And let's say that you go onto ALG2, how much money do you get?
currently, it is monthly 372 euros for living. This means for eating, for phone, for electricity.
What about the rent of your house? Do they pay for it, or do you have to get?
That is separated.
Okay.
You can look in or search on the internet or newspapers, and if you are alone, there is a maximum in square feet of an apartment you can rent. With two people, if I have a partner or children, I can rent a greater.
A bigger place?
What?
A bigger place? You get a bigger place if you live with
Yes,
multiple?
yes. And you can sign the contract, and the job center pays mostly the rent directly to the owner. You don't get this money. Many people catch the money, don't give it to the owner, and a lot of problems here in Germany, and so they transfer it directly to the owner.
Okay, so the money that you get is the money that you will use to buy your food,
Yes.
buy the things that you require as an individual. But what about paying for the light, the electricity, and the phone service? You pay for yourself.
For example, I have 40 square feet flat, and I pay around 60 euros a month. I don't watch so much TV, and I think it's normal one person and such a flat.
Is that feet or meters? Because that's a different.
That is about 60 euros a month, and you must pay this with 374 euros.
Okay.
The next is what you have to pay too. If you are living in a bigger city, you have to pay.
Fix your camera because we're not.
I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Okay, we are not seeing your face. Right now it's okay.
The camera was
yes.
down.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. So we were discussing you get less money from the ALG too. What about healthcare, for example? Is that included? Does the job center, which is the institution that pays for that welfare system that, as we were discussing offline, off air, it is paid with the taxes from the people. So that means that the welfare system is not based on, as we are proposing with the living income guaranteed, from the nationalization of resources or any other form of getting the wealth from everyone as part of what is entitled to everyone as a birthright, but it is only through taxation. Yes. We will discuss also later how that affects at a social level. But once that you get, well, in essence, the healthcare system, how does it operate?
We have a lot of healthcare companies here in Germany. On the one side, there are the private healthcare companies. With ALG2, you can't go in a private healthcare. You must go in a public one. You have the choice in which one you go. Job center pays the monthly payment, but the healthcare isn't really good. For example, if you need emergency call, they will help you. and there are many facts they don't pay. They don't pay for a lot for teeth. They don't pay for blood tests. Only all 2 years they pay for a blood test.
Okay,
that is only an example.
Okay, so many expenses are not really entirely covered. We were also discussing off-air in relation to the amount of money that the job center gives you if you intend to go back to education or go back to get work. How does that function?
Okay, I think this is a good point from the job center. If you are young and you have no education and you go to the job center and say, I will learn this or I will learn that, they have, it's called fonds, a lot of money, and they pay they pay the education.
Okay, that's good. That's an incentive then that the system gives you to keep educating yourself or getting a job. And
yes, you get a coupon. You get a paper like a coupon, and you can go to a for example, I will be a web designer. So you get a coupon for learning web design. There is no company name. You can go to any company or school, and they pay for 9 months or for 12 months the school. They pay if it is in another town for the buses or trains, and I think this is a good point from the job center.
Cool. So they pay you for everything that you're required to get educated, like where you will stay and everything.
Yeah. The other fact is, if you go the first time there, you have to make a contract with them too. And if you don't do what they will, they reduce the money, the monthly payment.
Okay, so that's another point. We are talking about the people that do want to improve themselves. But what about those that say, you know, I live well with this welfare, I don't want to work? What happens with them in the long run? Let's say after 2 years or a year. How does the system operate in such cases where people don't want to work?
You must show them that you are really do something to get work. So they give you an account for the internet to search for jobs. You get by the post. You get letters to write applications for a lot of companies, and when you don't do it, they Sanktion is it in German? Yes, they reduce the monthly payment up to 30%, or they can reduce it all when they say you aren't interested, or I'm not interested to really work.
Okay, so if you don't want to work, they reduce it to 30%. Do they get to the point where they simply say, you know, there's no money for you because you don't want to work? Or they will always give you a little bit of money?
No, you have no choice. When you get a letter, they reduce the money, and when you have no money for a living, they don't give it. You must go to a church or another.
Like panhandle or beg for money,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay. So the system doesn't support people that simply don't want to work. Okay, that's very clear. So from your perspective, we are seeing that there are some good aspects of it. In relation to the amount of money, do you see it as sufficient? How are the prices doing in Germany in relation to, you know, someone like you, an individual being able to live well with the money that you get from these systems?
Yeah, so I think it's not possible to own or drive a car with this money. The prices are too high. The taxes for a diesel car are too high. 1 liter gas is about €1.60, and you must pay the insurance, you must pay the taxes, and after you have paid the electricity, the phone, or the DSL for the computer, and the mobile phone, there are about 250 or 270 euros a month, and you can't live with 270 euros a month and drive a car.
Yes, of course, it's impossible. What about education? How does it work in Germany? Is it free or is it not free?
Education is free, only universities, and you must pay per half year around 600 euros.
Okay, so that's only the university level, the rest is free, right?
Yes, I'm not sure it's in all the countries here in Germany. I'm living in North Rhine-Westphalia. There's Bavaria too, or Hamburg, and so on, and they have all other laws. Here in North Rhine-Westphalia, it's 600 euros in a half year.
Okay, that's also an interesting fact that all states have different rules as well.
Yes, I have some facts too. My cat is sitting on the paper.
It doesn't matter.
That is about. For example, I'm living alone. I get 374 euros, and if I have a partner, the second person gets a little bit less. That's the partner gets 345 euros. So if you live with another one, it's better to share the electricity and so on. And for children, for example, if the children are 14 to 70 years old, that is about 289 euros a month. This is how much they care to.
Well, that's reasonably okay. From your perspective, which aspects would you change of this system that you say this is not good enough? What you would improve?
Yes, the money is not enough. It's I will say if you are 40 years old or a little bit older, you have no choice to not to really choice to get a good job here. You can get a job in a supermarket or but I say it's now McDonald's, but they are very, very less paid, and there are wait a second. This time, short-time companies, you get a contract for 3 months or 6 months, and very less paid with. You have no rights there. You must work, but you have no rights. You are really a slave there.
Okay, that's relevant to also
These companies earn a lot of money from the other company. I say I go to the company ABC, and I work at I don't know the name. I work in another company. For example, they get 20 euros an hour, but I get only 6 euros, and 15 euros gets this time company.
Okay, I see. We have some questions for you. One says, how do you see the German welfare system affecting the way people in Germany look at the economy?
I didn't really understand the question.
How is the German welfare system viewed by the people in Germany, which somehow in relation to the economy, for example, in terms of the taxation that is the one funding the welfare system, as we were discussing. This has to do with the social stigma also that we have discussed previously in relation to some working to pay for the welfare system that others benefit from.
Yes, I hope this is the right answer now, what you are asking. A lot of people are ashamed to go to the job center and their children at the school, if the other children know it too, they are bullied, and that's a problem here in Germany.
They're bullied because their parents are on welfare?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's a social situation going on when they know that, hey, you know, like my father is working for your money, right? It creates a social division there, which certainly creates further separation. And
yes, it is. It is long ago. They show with a finger to you and say you are poor people.
Okay. Yeah, that was the second question, actually, in relation to the German system, where children are divided from an early age in different kinds of school systems, and how that affects the people that do get the welfare. And we are essentially discussing that, which is, you know, children are also being affected by their parents being on welfare and people getting to know about that. So, in essence, we don't have much time left. What would you say in relation to this system that you are living in at the moment? You say that the money is not sufficient. What else would you say would make it a better living system, if possible, within the current economy?
Yeah, the first one is we need a equal money system here, and I don't know so much about equal money or BIG. I'm in the group since 3 or 4 months now. I'm very interested, and I hope that I can meet the Netherlands or the friends from Belgium very soon too, to discuss with them all the problems. I think they have the same problems in the Netherlands or Belgium,
Yes.
like here in Germany. What's here too is next week we have the election, and the parties are. I posted some pictures of the flyers on the streets, and we had on TV some discussions with the Chancellor Merkel, and they are all liars. They make promises and can't hold these promises. I'm sure they can't hold it for 4 years. It's always
the political system all over the world is equally deceptive, but it is our responsibility then to establish solutions.
Yes. So, for example, the Green ones, the Green Party, 20 years ago, they are very interesting with their ideology to stop Oh, for change it, and now the Green Party is working for the rich ones.
Yes, so they are only having the name of being green or alternatives, but in essence they're working for.
Yes, yes.
So we don't have much time. There is a question that has been posted, but I suggest that you first read it and then write about it in the comment section of where this video will be located. Thanks a lot for participating, Norbert, and for sharing with us how this system works.
Yes.
The flaws are certainly the same that other European nations are going through. So we'll see you some other time to participate further if you'd like, to expand on these points or many other points. Yes. And thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. And if someone has questions too, write it, and I will answer it as soon as possible.
Yeah, very cool. I'll place your information in the section of this video and the data so that people know where to contact you.
I have to thank you too. This was really the very first time that I made such a hangout. I have seen some of the others weeks ago, and so I was a little bit nervous. It's dark outside. I have electric light here.
It's fine.
It's 8:30 in a few minutes, and okay,
yeah,
goodbye.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, ciao.